Hello, everyone. Welcome to the All for United match reaction and player rating show. I am your host, Temi, aka Temi Talks United, aka Andy Cole's lost son. And with me, I have Keen today. How you doing, man?
I'm not too bad, Tammy. Thanks for having me on today.
Thank you. And I got my man Ollie with me as well. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm very good, mate. Very good. Nice to get on.
Good, good. Thank you for joining us. A 3-0 win in the third round of the Carabao Cup. A little bit deceptive, but at the end we got through. We played we played with the weaker lineup today. Ollie trusted his bench. I was skeptical about it, but in the end it paid off. We got to rest some of the starters. We rested Pogba today. We rested Bruno today. Rested Marcus today. And we got a 3-0 result shockingly. But enough about that. Let's just talk about the overall game, guys. I'm going to start with you, Keen. What did you think? What did you see? What were kind of the positives and negatives you took from this game?
So I suppose the positives you kind of take from this game is obviously look we've got a 3-0 win, and ultimately like we're through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. I suppose more positives you can take obviously is Donny van de Beek making his full debut today, and like in the time that he played, you've seen kind of positive signs from him in terms of his overall play. Getting between the lines, creating chances. You can kind of see what he's about, and you can see
Mm-hmm.
what he's going to bring to the team. Another kind of positive I'd like to
Mm-hmm.
kind of say as well, obviously, is Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford both getting on the score sheet today. Those two players
Yeah.
probably at the moment, who have been in the headlines. So it's good to see that they're back on the score sheet, and hopefully look they can kick on the weekend.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I think the one of the biggest takeaways is that we got some confidence into our two of our starting front three. The biggest reason I felt like our starters should have played today was to get some match fitness, get some game time, feel good about themselves. But Ali figured out a way to do that in minimal time. So we can only feel positive about that. Ali, what did you think about this game?
Well, I think positives to take away. Brandon Williams was stand out for me. Really
Oh yeah,
mature performance. I mean, he made a few rash passes at the start. Maybe that was a rush of blood, but yeah, all round brilliant, solid defensive display from him, which
oh
is
yeah.
usually a weaker side to his game.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was good to see Donny van der Beek getting in between the lines and just showing quality. And obviously, Matic just doing what he does best, which is calming everything down and getting back. Just we needed Matic on Saturday,
Yeah,
and that was proven tonight. Even though it's a lesser
yeah.
opponent, he did
Hmm.
the simple things well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I couldn't agree more, Ali. I think that our midfield pivot along with our defense were probably the standout, performers today. I thought Matic, like you said, Ali, was excellent. I thought Fred, the way he was breaking up the play, winning balls back from the opposition was excellent. You mentioned Brandon Williams. There was a couple times that Luton got out on the break. He took one for the team, got a yellow card, won some balls back. When they were counterattacking, and he was excellent. We have our man Arpan joining us today, man. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing. I'm sorry I was late because yeah, I told you it's the wee hours in the morning
It's
and
all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry. We're all here now. We're all here now. But what were your thoughts on the game, man? What did you think? Who was your standout performer today?
yeah. So yeah, my standard performer of the day would be in a way Van der Beek because so I'm not really still not really impressed with Brandon Williams. He looks solid defensively, but I think there were like more than maybe 5 6 times where he could have put the ball inside the box because see against Luton Town you would actually want Man United to end up in the front field. You wouldn't you like what are the odds? Like what are the odds? Last 8 times, I think there was a stat Man United faced Luton Town 10 times, and we've like won 8 of them. And the last time we faced them in 1992 April, and we had a draw. The only time we had a draw. So I don't think there was a scare to start with, but I would like to see Brandon Williams play a more attacking sort of a game because this has been the problem with him. He's good defensively, he's extremely solid defensively, but that is the problem. Going forward, he does not actually offer much. And today, that was the case in the first half. If you look at it, we were trying to go down the middle, but the players could not string together anything meaningful in the first half. But second half was a lot better. Second half in the second, I think Lingard did actually prove a couple of points today. Although he missed, he could have scored. He could have ended up on the like score sheet. I think Van der Beek was crucial. It was his first full debut. It was his first game in the United colours, and I think it was necessary for him to get the game time under his belt, get that get that thing off his shoulders, so that he can be more confident. And the moment Rashford, Bruno, and our man Mason took to the field, you could see the entire change in the game. Like they
Yep.
were so going forward. They were so
Com-
fluid going forward. So, yeah, I
yeah.
think it was a complete show for us. I maybe a couple of scares, but I wouldn't mind much.
No, that's a good point. I think, like we said a little earlier, Mason Marcus and who was our
Bruno.
third person who came on? Forgive me, Bruno came on. They definitely made the difference today. Definitely made the difference today. It would have been a completely different a 1-0 with no goals in hand, with no goals from open play, I should say, would have been a completely different thing. Anas underscore 488, my guy. He said, shocking coaching, outplayed by Luton B team. All this does is paper over the cracks. Guys, what are your I'm gonna start with Keen. What do you think about that comment? I would say before you answer, the 3-0 is deceptive. If we
Yeah.
really want to be honest, I think our performance, if the subs didn't come on that and kind of make the score look a little different, we would have been asking some questions right now. What do you think about the comment right there?
So I think the comments like I would agree with it like for at some points like it was lethargic at times like today we weren't really stringing like pass together. We're kind of just relying kind of on Van de Beek and Lingard to try to break through the lines, and Mata kind of had to try running the free roam. But when you're playing two defensive midfielders against a Luton team, what do you expect? Like you're not going to get something. You're not going to get a full flown attacking team. You're not going to get like swashbuckling football, But look, I suppose it's job done at this point in time, and at least now, like look, we got through at the end, and we're on to the next round.
No, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Joe O'Neill, our guy here, says this game was against Luton, so it's hard to judge. But Rashford and Greenwood scored. Henderson showed his class. Lingard should still get out. And Donnie was impressive. So that's all good signs. Hashtag Ollie in. Very, very, very interesting comments there. Guys, also make sure, I love the interaction so far. Make sure to drop some comments, in here. We're gonna shout out you guys that, interact with us and show comments. Make sure to follow All for United on Twitter, Instagram, and join the movement. You feel me? Join the movement. But like Joe said, I think this is a great point. I'm gonna get to you, Ali. This game is very, very difficult to judge because honestly, at the end of the day, we're looking ahead towards the weekend in Brighton. But the players that are gonna be playing in that game, most of them didn't play. So we're not really gonna. We didn't have an idea of have they improved over the past few days with match fitness? Are they sharper? We really didn't get a glimpse into that. So what are your thoughts, about that and what we can take away from this game?
Well, if I'm honest, it was a little bit like a training sort of session. I mean, unless you'd not to notice, we've got a Gallo up front, which is definitely strong enough to hold off a man. And as Keane said, there wasn't a lot of crossing. It was all sort of on the floor cutbacks, which obviously arriving late on the ball at the peak. I mean, Brandon Williams was more than capable of cutting back on his, stronger right foot and whipping a crossing, but we didn't see that. Even Wan-Bissaka is easily the pace to beat his man, especially, a player Luton's sort of standards, and whip a crossing. And he didn't do that today. So I don't know whether we were just practicing, getting in between the lines, getting the best out of Van der Beek and Mata. I mean, I can't see us using Mata a lot this season. But obviously, easing Van der Beek in is massively important because we want to get him in the first team. But yeah, I felt as whether or not they'd seen there was space in the box, on the opposition sort of tactics. But it just seemed a bit laboured when it could have been, whip a ball in, Igalo will head it down, like they were doing in Europe last season. When he was using Igalo and Mata. And unfortunately, I would have thought Dan James would have got a game today. Whether or not it was shop window for Lingard, but
yeah, no, that's an interesting point. I think the Dan James aspect, he might potentially be looking to play him again this weekend. I hope not. I hope Mason starts.
Rumors he's heading to Leeds.
Yeah, that is the incumbent. That is the rumor that is out there. I don't think it's going to happen. We need some wide players. I don't think we can afford to let one go at the current moment. But this is a great comment right here. Should start Matic, Fred, then Pogba. Sorry, when I see Fred and Matic today, they look solid midfield. I completely agree with that. Let me not say 100%, but Fred and Matic as a pair, especially right before lockdown, maybe from that January to kind of like March window, they were very, very solid in a pivot, very, very solid in a pivot, and they showed it again today. Guys, we'll wrap it up with our panel, and then we'll get into the player ratings. And guys, make sure to start commenting your player rating from 1 to 10 in the live chat below, and we'll after our pen get his point off. But what did you think about Fred and Pogba? What did you think about Fred and Matic today, Arpan? How did you feel they played? Did you like the partnership in there in the midfield?
Well, I've always been a supporter of both Fred and Matic. I think Fred gives that extra running, extra leg, while Matic gives us that extra composure. But it depends on what we are looking at, because if we're gonna judge these two players playing in a partnership against Luton Town, and we're gonna bring that to the table for the Premier League, I don't think that works that way. Because in the Premier League, we need somebody who can break the attack and create from that place. Fred, what I've seen in the last season is that whenever Fred and Matic play together, they look solid. They break attacks very well. They compose the game. But whenever it's about creating the attack from them, what happens is they get a bit too on the left side heavy. Both of them are left-footed. They always tend to pass on the left side. And Manchester United as a whole, the entire team as a whole, we do not have nothing on the right side. We do not have nothing going forward on the right at this moment. And from that Dan James thing, like no matter how much I don't hate him, but I don't rate Dan James that high. But we need somebody who can make those runs, who can actually run like Dan James in maybe in a match against Man City, where we'd be like pressed against the wall, and we would need that one release ball from either Pogba or from anybody, and Dan James can make that darting run. So both Fred and Matic can be a pair for the Premier League for me, but depends on how Fred works on the constructive side of the game rather than destructively. He's fine. He's good at blocking. He is good at breaking plays. But whenever we're looking at two midfielders and we're looking at both of them to break the plays, I think that is where I think we are over like over manning the place, because if we're going to use two players to break the play, then where are we going to start the attack from? So in that case, I would like to. I'm really interesting to see how Fred does in the attacking, more constructive side of the game, and then I'll be more convinced.
Yep. No, that's a very interesting take and point. I completely agree with that. Guys, we're about to get right into the player ratings portion of this segment. This is the fun part. So make sure you stay in, retweet this right now. If you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, share the link. We're going to start rating these players from 1 to 10. It's going to be really, really interesting because we won 3-0, but I'm curious to see how the fellas feel, each individual play today, guys. So make sure you get in the comments, start rating the players from 1 to 10. We're going to start from the back. Dean Henderson, his first, competitive start for United. And he didn't disappoint to me, but I'll let you guys get to the player ratings. And Keane, I'm going to start with you. What did you think of Dean Henderson today?
I think Dean Henderson, look, he didn't have much to do today. He didn't have, apart from the double save he made in the second half, he didn't have much to do. So you couldn't really kind of, I suppose, judge him fully on today's performance. But if I had to go anything, I'd say I'd go 6.5 out of 10. I think, when called upon, he did make a save. I might be harsh giving him 6.5. It's just the fact though he didn't have much to do, so I can't really kind of judge him off that performance today.
So you're no 0.5s, no 0.5. So I need a 6 or a 6
We'll
or
give
a
him a
7.
7. We'll give him a 7.
Okay.
We'll give him a 7 for that save. We'll give him a
7
7.
for Keen. 7 for Keen. Hammond, Thadatil. Forgive me if I messed your name up, but he's saying 7 or 8. Chuki Akosionu said Henderson should sit De Gea down. Wow, powerful comment. Ollie, what did you think of Henderson's performance today? What would you give him out of 10?
Well, I mean, I'd give him a 7, if not an 8, to be honest with you. He did more, actual sort of shouting at the defence, trying to organise with Maguire than De Gea seems to do. And if I'm honest, I think that shot that he saved in the 80th minute beats De Gea recently. Near post, it should be a simple save, but it's a bit low down. That would beat De Gea, going off sort of this start of this season, last season. So, I think it was more the fact that he was trying to, organise a defence, screaming out at the back, telling Brandon, maybe come back a bit, telling Maguire, right, sort it out. So, I've not seen a lot of that from De Gea, and that's usually one of the sort of pitfalls for me. I mean, you say he's a world-class keeper, but if he can't organise a defence, I don't know whether that's just stuck on a sort of Schmeichel-esque keeper we're used to.
Right.
But, I think that was always my benefit of Dean Henderson going forward, really, having that, sort of passion and fire to not be afraid to shout at a defence and marshal it, I think he did that brilliantly today, even though he didn't have much to do. When he did do it, it was, it wasn't nervy. I don't know what you guys felt, but I felt a lot more comfortable having him in net. There wasn't that worry that as soon as there's a break, right, it might be a goal. So I don't know whether it's going to be a positive for De Gea, maybe a quick, kick up the arse, but let's hope it's a positive for our club, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so final score is an 8, Ollie, or a 7?
I'm giving him an 8, yeah.
You're going to give him an 8. Okay, no problem. I'm with it. I'm not mad at that score at all. Arpan, quickly, give us your score real quick.
Okay, that's a 7 for me because saves done. He was strong. Communication was strong, and then I think the claims were pretty good. Aerially, he was pretty strong. I still need to look at his distribution. I do not know how much he can offer distributively. So apart from that, I think it was a pretty solid game from him. So yeah, 7 for me.
7. I'm also gonna go with the 7. So I think that's 3 out of 4 for the squad here for 7. So sorry, Ollie, we're gonna drop it to a 7. We're gonna drop it to a 7 for Dean Henderson. Let's move through these guys. So at right back we have AWB back in the lineup after being in a mini lockdown. So what did you guys think of his performance today? I'm gonna start with you, Keen. Out of a 10, what are you gonna give my guy AWB?
I was going to give Wan-Bissaka a 6. I think, look, he was solid today. He done what was asked of him. Again, he wasn't really threatened too much down his side. More Luton's threat kind of came down the left. But other than that, down our left, sorry. He done quite well when called upon. Very solid. Got the ball out from his feet very quickly. Again, look, there is question marks over Wan-Bissaka's distribution from the right side. But look, he's young. He can work on it. But, definitely a solid 6, on his return to the squad.
Can't complain about that score. Ollie, what do you think?
I'll go with a 6 as well, but only because, we've bought this super defensive-minded player, quoted as the best defensive right-back in, European football. But I think there is scope for him to get better going forward. I don't know whether it looked like he was told not to, beat his man and put a cross in today. But we've seen good crosses from him. So, hopefully we'll make him a more complete defender. Today, there was a lot left, to give, I think. So I'll go with a 6.
6 for Ollie there. And you made a great point. Neil Burton says AWB is the best right back in the league. Bold statement right there. But I completely agree. There's so much room for improvement with AWB. Arpan, what did you think of Aaron Wan-Bissaka today?
I'll go with a 6 because as you said, he was in a mini lockdown, and this was the start of the season for him. Not much threat going forward. maybe could work on that. Maybe he has worked on that because we have seen post lockdown he was good going forward, but like defensively he looked strong. But I don't know what happened. Even today, there were like two crosses coming in from his side that came in from his side. So before, like that was zero. Last season, that was nil. I don't know what changed. I'm going with a straight six. Maybe
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
there room for improvement, but I don't think that's much of an issue.
No, okay. Yeah. Six across the board for all of us. I think I would agree with that six. Not a bad performance by any means, but when there's not much to do defensively, AWB is not gonna always provide that spark up front. But I think a solid six in his return, mind you, is a decent score. So at right center back, we had Eric Bailly come into the side today. Guys, what did you feel? Victor Lindelof has come under a lot of scrutiny. In my opinion, he had the worst game of his United career last week against Crystal Palace. Just me personally, but what did you think of Eric Bailly this game? Did you see anything that would potentially make him be in the lineup this coming weekend? Keen, what do you think?
I think, well, straight out, I give Eric Bailly a 7 today, simply because you've seen the massive difference he gave us in the back four today. Like, for example, against Crystal Palace, we were getting caught down the channels a lot with Victor Lindelof. With Eric Bailly, because his pace, because his reading of the game, that was non-existent today. And, he kind of complements Harry Maguire's style in that effect, where Maguire is brilliant at reading the game and brilliant in the air. He does have his deficiencies with pace. And when you have Eric Bailly beside him, that helps Maguire in that respect. So I think Boy did have a solid showing today, and I think going forward on Saturday I would start him against Brighton.
Oh wow, bold statement. So 7 for Eric Bailly for Keane. Ali, what did you think? Do you agree with Keane? Should we put Eric Bailly into the side this
Oh
coming
yeah,
weekend?
definitely against Brighton. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you noticed today that he was working a lot better as a sweeper. He's got the pace to complement Maguire. Maybe going a little bit further forward, doing his sort of midfield passing range that he used to be. The only thing I'd say about Bailly tonight, obviously, there's always that: is he going to go in for a horror challenge and injure himself, which he nearly did tonight? But his heading, it's unconvincing. It can end up with a better team. That's it's a chance on goal. But no, he's charging people down, and he looks tenacious. He's a bit of a scary figure when he's on it. So I think defensively he was brilliant. And if you take away his terrible heading this evening, I'd have gone with an 8, but it has to be a 7
Wow.
for me.
Okay, 7 for Ali. Arpan, what did you think about the man, the beast, Eric Bailly himself?
So it's a 7 for me too. Because see, what do you look in a defender? You look for pace, you look for composure, you look for strength, and you look for fitness. So 3 out of 4 thing clicked. And Eric Bailly, I think by far the most technically gifted defender that we have. He's the best defender that we have in the team. So whenever he's fit, like I would like to see him week in week out. If he can keep on that fitness, if he can keep that fitness, then I think he's like he was really strong today. He was commanding. He was complimenting Maguire perfectly. And there were moments where Maguire was lacking. He was lacking in pace, maybe, and Eric Bailly complemented that really well. He was doing the rough job, and we really need a person in the team who can do it the rough way, who can make the strikers feel that okay, man, okay, you need to watch your ground, and there that is my place. You need to command that, and I think he did that really well today. Yeah, it's a straight 7 for me.
Sevens, pretty much sevens across the board. I agree. Eric Bailly is an enigma, definitely the most athletic center back we have by quite a margin. I wouldn't agree with Arpe when he says he's the most technically gifted center back we have. I think Victor and Harry are both technically more gifted, but his athleticism, you can feel it. You can feel the difference when he's on the pitch, because of his pace, because of the way he wins the ball back. He'll put in a good ball here or there, but again, I was scared. I thought he got hurt again today. Just like Ali mentioned earlier. But hey, a 7 across the board for Eric Bailly. If he plays on Saturday, I would be shocked. I'd be shocked if he started Saturday. And let me be completely honest. I think I think Ollie does like Harry and Victor together, and I think Brighton's going to play football against us. But this is not the match preview for that. We're going to move on to the to the left side of the pitch where Brandon Williams played. Keane, what did you think of the young fella today, B. Will?
I think Brandon Williams again showed tenacity in his play. Do you know what I mean? He does get stuck in. Do you know he's one of them defenders who's no nonsense. And though I do love that type of defender, I think Brandon Williams, he did show that today. And again, one thing I just like to say, just for rival fans, he got us that penalty. You know, Manchester United continues on. So
exactly,
you know, in that respect, I give Brandon Williams a 7 for that, just for that.
Not mad at it at all. Yes, Manchester United is back at it. We can't complain at all. Ollie, what did you think?
I'm going to go man of the match today, Brandon Williams for me. I was going to say an 8.
Okay.
I think I don't know who said it before, but that he's more defensively minded. I think he's a bit more of a gung-ho attacking left back.
I would completely agree with that. Completely agree with that.
He completely bossed his defensive duties, which was something that was lacking in his game, to be honest with you. It needed work. Mm-hmm. It looked like he's worked on that. As I said about, maybe he should have cut in for a cross. It doesn't look like they've been told to do that. Mm-hmm. So, his, heart on his sleeve, bleed for Man United tenacity got him into that box and got us the penalty. So, I think from looking how much he's improved defensively, or just looking at that microcosm of that game, I'm going to give him man of the match and an 8 out of 10 for me.
Okay. I'm not mad at it. Arpan, what did you think of B. Will today?
I've already said what I feel about him. I think it's a straight 7 from me. I think he's good defensively, and I would still like to see. What I want to see players playing for Man United is that how good they are going forward, because Man United is not a counter-attacking team. We that should be our daily going to each game, thinking attacking. I believe a lot in the attack that we can have. So Brandon Williams, apart from his crossing, that I think he still needs improving. Apart from the attacking side of the game, yes, he did get that penalty, and Manchester United is back. Get that in. I don't have a problem with that. The haters can say whatever they want. I don't mind. Solid 7 for me.
7. I would also go with the 7 today. I think the biggest thing for Brandon was, to Ollie's point, defensively. I thought he was pretty solid today. Especially if you really think about it, he won a ton of fouls outside of just the penalty. He won a ton of fouls. If there was a long ball played over the top, he'd get in front of his man, win a foul, we get possession back. I think he did that at least 4 or 5 times this game. I thought he was pretty good. I'm gonna give him. I'm not gonna go as far as an 8, but I will go with a 7 today. I thought Brandon Williams, played one of his better games over the past few months, for sure. Moving into the midfield pivot, we're going to go to Matic, guys. The old head, the senior player kind of in the team, came back into the side. I thought he should have played this past weekend, or Fred. Came back and looked solid, in my opinion. Keane, what did you think?
I think with Nemanja Matic, you've seen kind of the defensive stability that he does give Man United. Do you know what I mean? He gives the players in front of him, the likes of a Van de Beek or Bruno Fernandes, that kind of freedom to go forward and express themselves. And you've seen today again. I know I alluded to earlier with Eric Boye, we don't get caught down the channels because you have that midfield anchor. And again, he showed that today, that he can provide that defensive stability for us. I think in that respect, I would give Matic a 7. Just on the respect that he did provide that defensive stability for us.
Now, completely agree with that. Ollie, what would you say regarding Matic's performance today?
Matic, well, he just showed his class. It was calmness personified. Whenever he had the ball, it's what he does. He does the simple things very well. It's not always passed back. It's sort of Carrick-esque. He'll make the odd pass forward, but more often than not, it's the safe pass, kill the attack, and then we go again, which he does brilliantly.
Yep.
I think you could see when he dropped back into sort of like a back 3 with Bay and Maguire, like McTominay didn't do last week. He looked awkward when he was asked to do that, and I think that's what Matic does brilliantly. And sometimes it goes unnoticed, but that's Matic's game. He does things brilliantly, but so much so that you don't really notice him in the game. like Carrick used to do. You know,
Yeah.
if you do the right things well, then you're doing your job and it goes unnoticed. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd go 7 out of 10. Easy.
7 out of 10. Arpan, what do you think of Matic's performance today? We got 2 sevens so far.
Yeah, I might go a bit overboard to go give him an 8 because solely because of the fact that the composure that he brings to the table. Like every time Matic plays, he is that metronome. He is that pivot. He is the guy that gives that stability to the midfield. No matter how many attacking players you have, if you do not have that stability, it doesn't it all goes to waste. So Matic is that stable actually on which you can base on that and play your game. So Matic is he's a I admire the guy. I admire how he plays the game and how composed he's on the ball. So that is he's 8 for me today. Today's
8.
performance was
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. So I'm gonna go with a 7 today. So we're split down the middle in this panel. I thought he was really good. I thought he was really good. Again, I'm not gonna go as high as an 8. I've seen Matic, an 8 out of 10 performance in Matic. It's Luton Town, so maybe I'm being harsh, but I personally thought Matic was really good today. I'm gonna give him a 7, like I said. There is a calmness he brings that McTominay just cannot. If you remember correctly, when McTominay was coming up in the academy, he was a 10. So we've asked him to sometimes play center back, like we did, or he played right back over the weekend when we made some switches, kind of playing in those defensive positions where he's not as comfortable. But I thought Matic today was really, really solid. I'm gonna give him a 7. Guys, let's see if we can speed this up as quickly as possible for these next few that we got going on. So let's talk about Ferdinand today, guys. What did you think about him? Keen.
So I think like with Fred again, you kind of seen what he kind of brings to the team in terms of like his moving the ball quickly. Like he does release the ball quickly. He does like get it to the wingers, and I think that's something that he did show kind of in kind of before lockdown, before we did finish up last season. He did show it again today. Like he has shown that he can play a role in the midfield. In terms of rating today, I think I'd just give Fred a 6. I don't think he done as good as a job as Matic in midfield, but he did show that he does have a role to play in this Manchester United team.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Interesting. 6 today. Ollie, what did you think? What did you think about Fred's performance today?
I'm going to go 7 out of 10. I mean, if Matic got a 7, Fred gets a 7. He was tenacious. His passing was quite brilliant in the first 45 minutes. Not that there was a lot to show. And he did his job yet again. It's Matic is the sweeper. He's the aggressor. And he did that brilliantly. Yes, It wasn't a standout performance, but I'd definitely go 7 if Matic gets a 7.
7. Okay. Arpan, what did you think about Fred's performance today?
You do not kill me for this. I'm gonna go in with a 6. I know I've rated Matic 8, but I think there are some other things that Fred needs to improve. There are some other things that Fred can improve. I think I've spoken about those. So yeah, 6.
6. Okay. Yeah, I would give Fred a 7 today. I think 6 is very harsh. I think he played some beautiful long balls across the pitch today. I thought he broke up the play really well, won the ball back. Again, it's Luton Town, so I'm trying to be as cognizant of that as possible. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna give Fred a 7. So the panel is split down the middle again. Like we're gonna speed it up. We're gonna speed it up. Let's just try and keep it to one sentence. So on the left wing, we had Jesse Lingard. Guys, what did you think about him? Sorry, Keen, go ahead.
So I think with Lingard, he did. I think I would give him a 7. I think there was good movement off the ball. He did look bright. He did try to create chances, and I think off that basis, he does deserve a 7 today.
7 for Lingard. Ollie, what would you say?
I'm going to say 6. Looked like he was trying too hard. Sort of rushed at things, and he was their chief creator. It was his chance. Trying a bit too hard for me. I'm going to say 6.
Okay, 6 for Ollie. Arpan, what did you think?
6 for me. Missed a couple of chances. Could have scored a goal. Yes, did try to do a couple of things, but did not come off. So yeah, 6.
I would probably agree with Arpan and Ali. I'd give him a 6. That 6 is probably the best performance he's put up in a long time, though. That is what I was thinking this whole game. That 6 out of 10 is probably the best I've seen him play since City away, very early last season. To be quite honest with you, so I think it's six for Lingard today. Number 10 position, Donny van de Beek gets his debut start for Manchester United. Guys, what did you think of his performance today, Keane?
For me, he's an 8. He's my man of the match. Donny van de Beek did show his creative aspect of his game today massively in terms of getting between the lines, getting the 1-2s, and he's our most threatening player. And you could see, what he's about. And I think you're going to see a lot more of him this season. And on that basis, what I've seen today, 8 out of 10, man of the match.
Jamie Gretton agrees with you, Keane. 8 out of 10. Ollie, what would you say?
I'd have gone a 7 out of 10 for Van der Beek. I mean, he did his job brilliantly. We can see his quality from the Ajax sort of training. He floats in between the lines. You don't really notice, or they can't pick him up. And then comes in, arrives late on the ball. Didn't really work with who he was playing with today, but I'm going to go 7 out of 10 for me.
7 out of 10. Okay, Arpan, what would you give Donny van de Beek today?
Okay, I'll go with a 7 out of 10. Good on the ball, very fast, tricks, skills, all there. You get to link up with the players, but yeah, it's all there. Very, very, very very strong performance. So yeah.
Yeah, he was my man of the match as well. But I would give him a 7 out of 10, but it's a higher 7 than everybody else. You know what I mean? I thought that he played really, really well. The 1-2s with Mata, he was bouncing it off of Lingard, attempting to bounce it off Igalo today. He played really, really well. He was composed. 7 out of 10 for me, and he's my man of the match. Okay, on the right wing, we had El Mago, Juan Mata playing today. What did you think, Keane? What did you think of his performance today?
I think Juan Mata today, on today I was very vocal, not wanting him to start, but seeing him today, he did do well. He was creating chances. He was in kind of play. I know he was positioned on the right, but he kind of played that kind of free role, and he was picking up the ball in areas and tried to make things happen. I would give Juan Mata a 7. He did play well today, and he did put away the penalty as well. So I will give him a 7.
7 for Juan Mata for Keane. Ollie, what would you say to El Mago's performance today?
I'd agree with a 7 out of 10. I mean, it showed, when he decided to float the ball in, which he can do brilliantly, it caused a bit of danger. And when he actually beat the first man from a corner, it caused a bit of chaos in their box, which is why I didn't understand why there wasn't many crosses today. But he did what he does well, but he lacked pace for me. I think we should be looking at better players or younger players. So 7 for me.
Okay, 7 for Ollie. Arpan, what would you say about Juan Mata today?
Yeah, very good for me. Good link up with Van der Beek, and he looks a completely different player when he's playing with intelligent players. So yeah, just need he cannot get any faster than that. He's getting old. So yeah, like Ollie said, we need faster replacements. But yeah, 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Keane, you're getting some love from Football CFB. Keane is a superb addition to the show. Much love to you. Guys, let us know where you're streaming from, guys. We appreciate the love. Make sure to retweet this, like it, comment in the live chat. For Juan Mata, El Mago, I give him a 7 as well today. Class is permanent. His feet are never going to, his brilliant passing, he'll probably be doing that until he's 45. You know what I mean? Obviously the legs are gone, so he can't play. He can't play, 90 minutes as much as he used to, but he still shows class every time he touches a pitch. It's unfortunate that we didn't have him doing this and playing it's unfortunate we never played him in his correct position for his whole career at Manchester United. But we move on. The last starter today, Odion Igalo, my Nigerian brother, struggled today, in my opinion. Keane, what did you think?
I think with Odion Igalo today, look, I suppose at times he was feeding off scraps, but I'm afraid I have to give him a 5 today. He doesn't look sharp, and unfortunately, I think the lack of run of games, that's going to continue to happen when he comes into the team sporadically over the season. Now look, he's only here till January, so look, it remains to be seen how much football he plays between now and then, considering we've Champions League and important Premier League games coming up.
Yeah. So what would you give him?
Sorry, a 5. 5.
5 out of 10. Ollie, real quick, what would you give him?
4 or 5, to be fair. Can't really make
Yeah.
my mind up. Yeah, it wasn't great. I know he was feeding off scraps, but it wasn't at his best today. The old sort of striker that he should be as a backup striker should be burying, 1 out of 2 chances, and he had a few.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 out of 5. Looked laboured, looked tired.
Yeah.
4 out of 5.
Okay. Arpan, what would you say about Igalo's performance, real quick?
4 or 5.
4 or 5. Not much to say. Yeah, no, I pity him a little bit because he's been struggling to get game time, and usually his touch is pretty, his hold up play is pretty neat and tight, but he didn't have it today. I'm sorry, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. Very poor performance in my opinion. I don't know who this is. Obviously, I see Obama, whatever his name is, in the picture, but Penalties FC. Penalties FC. Hey, well, you worry about your team, we'll worry about ours. All right. Yeah. Anyway, I'm out of here. I don't have the time. Anyway, the subs. There's not too much to say about the subs. We can give Marcus and Mason a score because they scored, but when you come on in the 80-something minute, it's really hard to give a grade, guys. We'll just be real quick, guys. What did you think about the subs who came on? Keen.
I think, look, they're like Marcus and Mason, very lively. They're very fluid in their attack, and I think both of them, for me, both a 7. Look, Mason a goal and an assist, and Rashford, though he took his finish very well.
Yep. Ollie, what did you think of the subs today?
I thought Greenwood's strength and sort of mind to do that nice little layoff. It took minutes of him coming on. That just shows his class. I think if you're doing a rating, that's definitely an 8 for me. But,
I can't disagree.
Rashford's finish was decent, but you expect that from him, especially with that 3 balls. So yeah, I say Greenwood looked brilliant.
Yep. Okay, can't complain about that. Arpan, what did you think about the subs today?
Well, I have said what I had to say because they came onto the field and the entire complexion changed. So 7 for Bruno, 8 for Mason, and 8 for Marcus. So
yeah,
just because they
Yeah, I think I completely agree with the guys. I'm so happy they scored because I think Mason and Marcus desperately needed to see the ball go in the back of the net. We have a big game against Brighton this weekend. Brighton, if anyone's watched them for the first 2 games of the season, they have looked really, really good. Even in their 3-1 loss to Chelsea, I was highly, highly impressed. They slapped up Newcastle over the weekend. So it's not going to be an easy game. So it's really positive that we got 2 of our front 3 getting some goals right at the end of the game. We're going to wrap up the show, guys. We really appreciate the time, guys. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to comment. Make sure to subscribe to All for United on YouTube. Let your friends know about this. We really appreciate it. Keen, you were great today. Ollie, you were great today. Arpan, we appreciate the time. Guys, real quick, shout out yourself, shout out your YouTubes. And guys, anyone who's in the comments and watching live right now, make sure to follow these guys. Keen, shout yourself out real quick.
So my YouTube channel is the Weekly Armchair Kickoff Podcast, so you can follow us there, and also Keen_Franey on Twitter.
Very, very nice. Ollie, shout yourself out real quick.
Yeah, so at Oliver Chadwick 9 on Twitter, solid United opinions, and I love a good solid debate.
Oh yeah. I definitely love your Twitter page, man. Definitely love your Twitter page. Arpan, shout yourself out real quick.
So it's Red Army Kolkata on YouTube and on Twitter, and you have my own Twitter page. That's Arpan_GGMU. So yeah, make sure you follow us. Make sure you like the page, and make sure you stay tuned.
Love it. And I'm your blessed and highly favored host, Temi. Make sure to follow me at Temi Talks United on Twitter, and make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Temi Talks United. Just search TEMI Talks United. You're gonna see me there. Weekly, hopefully daily posts coming out soon now. So we really appreciate the time, guys. Remember, subscribe to All for United's YouTube channel. Catch us every single day with new content, new videos, new faces all the time. We really appreciate it, guys. We will see you guys very, very soon. Deuces.
Peace.
See you there.